Hey there, in this video we're going to be talking all about website redirects and why you should be utilizing them on your website. This is a perfect video if you are either a solopreneur or even if you do have a designer working for you and you are redesigning, restructuring your website, you really want to make sure that you're thinking about utilizing these redirects so that you can have the best user experience online and not make anyone either have to go through a 404 error page or be confused about a link or anything like that. So stay tuned for this video. My name is Yasmin Robles with Robles Designs, where we create jewel-worthy websites and brands for entrepreneurs who are hell-bent on taking over the world. If you are looking for a great checklist to make sure that you have hit everything that you need to hit on your website, go to roblesdesigns.com/checklist. That's where you can download the PDF and actually cross things off and make sure that you are hitting everything that you need to hit on your website. Whether you are e-commerce, service-based, a blog, it goes through things like, do you have a 404 page? Do you have the basics of SEO down, which are very, very basic on that checklist, but they're still the most essential pieces that should be on your website. So it's a great checklist just to have and to reference when you are either updating your website, restructuring it, reorganizing it, or building out a new one. Okay, so a redirect is basically you telling the search engine robots and the user, hey, you clicked on this link, but you're actually going to go to this link. This is great if you are reorganizing your site or if you are permanently changing domain names. It's just a really great thing to keep in the back of your mind instead of just saying, well, I'm just going to let it go into an error page and let that be that. There are times when I think that redirects could be put off for a while, especially when we are rebranding or reorganizing a website that doesn't really get any traffic. So before we even start reorganizing a website, we will take a look at your analytics, and please make sure that you have analytics installed on your site. We look at the analytics and we can say, okay, your about page has gotten no traffic at all in the last 3 months. Is this really going to be necessary to create a 301 redirect, or can we just scrap the page, recreate the page, and not worry about having traffic that accidentally goes there and it's a broken link? Other times though, redirects are really, really important because it is a page or a blog post that gets a lot of traffic or has really, really great SEO juice, and you don't want to lose that if you are switching domains or reorganizing the website. So what we end up doing is creating the list of pages that get a lot of traffic and that are important to you, and then we create those redirects for you while we're building out the new website. So what exactly are the different types of redirects? We have a 301 redirect, which is more of a permanent redirect. This tells the SEO bots and it tells the user, hey, we are permanently going to be switching all this traffic, SEO juice, everything that's on this page, we're going to be transferring it over to the other page, and we're getting rid of the old one. It's being scrapped. So this can sometimes happen if you are, for example, a lot of my clients, they might have had a team perhaps, and so they have a meet the team page, but they are then scrapping it or they're condensing it down to just the about page. And that in that case, we would say, okay, any traffic that is going to, for example, roblesdesigns.com/meet-the-team, that traffic is going to be sent to roblesdesigns.com/about. And what that'll create is that if anybody were to happen upon that link, let's say you were featured somewhere, and they happen across that link, they can immediately click it and be sent to the about page instead of getting a 404 error page. Very, very helpful. You won't lose that traffic, and you're basically telling people and the SEO gods, hey, we're completely scrapping the Meet the Team page, but we're going to just put everything into the About page. A temporary redirect would be if you are working on the Meet the Team page, but you don't want there to be traffic going there while you are recreating it or updating it or anything like that. So you can create a temporary redirect and say, okay, anyone who is going to this page temporarily, just send them over to the About page or to this other page. When we are done, we're going to continue to send people to meet the team. So that is a temporary format. So when would you actually use redirects on your website or when it comes to strategy? We've hit up on a couple of them, but let's kind of run through all of the scenarios that I've been through in the past. So the most common one is when you are moving domain names. For example, if I was going from roblesdesigns.com over to something like yasminrobles.com, maybe everything else stays the same, all the pages, all the structures stay the same, but it's just the domain name that is changing. We can start doing redirects that way, and so anyone who is going to roblesdesigns.com/about can be taken to yasminrobles.com/about. And so that way it's just a nicer way of redirecting people, getting them to the right page, getting them to the right information, and not just having some page come up saying, oh, this website doesn't exist anymore, because it'll create a lot of confusion for your user. And if you are trying to gain business and money from your website, which you should, then it's just going to create a barrier, and you don't want that to happen. So typically when you're moving from one domain name to another, that's when we've utilized the redirects. The second most often used strategy for redirects is when we are reorganizing a website. So we might not be getting rid of your domain name or changing it. For example, it's still roblesdesigns.com, but we are restructuring things. So for example, instead of us saying website-design, so be roblesdesigns.com/website-designs. And it would take you to a website design page. Perhaps now we are taking you to a more specific page like e-commerce website design. So now it would be roblesdesigns.com/e-commerce-website-design. And when that happens, we want to make sure that all that traffic is being redirected to this new page, whether that is a temporary page while we fix up the old one, or we're just completely reorganizing the business and only focusing on e-commerce. Then that would be the case where we would create a redirect. It's basically reorganizing the website. Sometimes you get rid of services, but you know that you're getting a lot of traffic to that page and you don't want to lose out on that traffic. So you can create the redirect and send them to a general services page, maybe even a special page that says, hey, we don't offer this service anymore, but you can definitely check out our other services that we are still offering. This is also great if you have seasonal products. For example, if you are a restaurant or an e-commerce site and you have specific times when you utilize a specific URL, for example, /Halloween, then you want to redirect that traffic in case they accidentally go to that site or to that page when it is not in use. For example, if you sell Halloween costumes before Halloween and somebody happens to click on that page or that link after you have taken it down, they'll likely get a 404 link. But what you can do is send them to a specific page that says something like, hey, sorry, we are out of these, it's out of the season, but why don't you check out these other items that are, great for the next upcoming holiday. You can make that user experience cohesive and amazing using these redirects. Another way that we have utilized redirects are for ads. So this is really great if, for example, you are running ads digitally and maybe in print. Say you're an organization and you're having people sign up via the invite that you mailed out, and you're having people sign up via an ad, and maybe even you're having people sign up organically through social media. So that's 3 different types of places that people can be coming from. And if you send them all to the same link, you might not necessarily be able to track exactly the difference between all of the different avenues that you have chosen to push. So for example, on the ad portion, you can have a specific URL and then on your website redirect that URL to the same page as all the other ones. Everyone is still coming to the same page, but you can now track, saying, for example, /checklist, everybody /checklist is coming from the event that I spoke at. Everyone who clicked on checklist freebie is coming in from an ad. And so now I can track via Google Analytics where people are actually coming from and which marketing avenue worked the best for me. The last way that we have utilized redirects are when we do an oopsie on an email blast. And this is especially true with clients that have tons of people in their email list. What might happen is, for example, let's say you hosted an event and you were supposed to send everybody a link to something in particular for that event, and you send them the wrong link. Yes, you can, as soon as you find out, you can send them another email with the corrected link. But how many of those people are actually going to be waiting for that new email, and how many people have you lost out on? Or if there's a particular sale with a special code for people who click on that link, you might have lost out on some sales. So what you can do is then after you can still send the corrected email, but you can then go into your site and create a redirect. So saying, hey, this is the wrong link, redirect everyone to this correct link. And that way, anyone who's still clicking on that wrong link on your email blast will still be redirected to the correct one. And it'll basically be as if it never happened. That is the rundown on redirects. So you have the 301 redirect, which is permanent, 302 redirect, which is temporary, and a couple of different ways that you can utilize them on your website. We've utilized them on Squarespace, Shopify, and WordPress sites. All the other ones can probably utilize them as well. Think about it while you are restructuring your website or creating a new page or a new ad for your campaign. Just kind of keep that in the back of your mind, how you can utilize these to the best of your marketing capabilities and strategy. And if you are looking for a free checklist, make sure to check out the roblessdesigns.com/checklist, and you'll be able to cross off things like a 404 page, a basics of SEO, all that stuff that your website needs, but it might slip through the cracks. So go and download that PDF. Let me know what you think. And with that, I will catch you in the next video.